Article that I read about a year ago and have been wanting to speak about for a really long time, just because I love the article so much. It comes from a crack.com, which is actually a comedy website, and you wouldn't think something like this would come out of like a comedy website, but the writer is a great writer named David Wong, and he wrote this article. It was called 5 Ways You're Sabotaging Your Own Life without even knowing it. And it's obviously a comedy article, but at the same time, he's talking about how to accomplish a goal practically, and he's a little bit mean about it, and obviously he adds comedy in it. But the way he talks about giving it straight to you, saying this is exactly what you need to do without the, like accomplish your goals, like positivity, like made it seem like it's more tangible, and I liked the way that he presented it. So today I'm going to talk about 2 ideas from his article that I want to share because I thought they were really good for accomplishing my own goals. So the first thing that he wanted to talk about was time. And time, what he means by that is obviously you need time to accomplish this goal. And his big thing is you're within the 24 hours of your day, you're giving up something to work towards this goal. And it was really interesting because for him, he was saying, if you want to start running in the morning, so you have to get up earlier, but you can't give up on sleep, so you need to go to bed earlier. But what do you do later at night? You might go out with your friends, you might watch TV. That's something you have to give up. And it seemed like, yeah, that is a true thing. You need to add it in your 24-hour day because successful people also have 24 hours in their day. They just would need to replace accomplishing their goals with something else and give something else up. I mean, and then the point is he was trying to say, was it's not just like, oh, stop watching so much TV. His biggest point about that was that you watch TV for a reason. You're doing it to unwind. You're come home from work, you're stressed, you're like, I need to watch TV. So essentially what he was saying is think about what you're giving up in order to accomplish a goal that you want to achieve, but at the same time think about what you're giving up in order to effectively realize where your priorities lie and how you want to accomplish it. And I really love that idea because it makes you think, yeah, it's not like, okay, I need to start running. It's like, I need to get up early and start running. Or if I'm going to start, go to grad school, that takes a lot of time. I'm not going to see my friends that often. So there is like his point about giving up something, which, it seems like a very harsh and cruel thing to say because you're like, you can't see your friends anymore. But it seems like, yeah, no, that's something that you need to think about, especially if you want to accomplish this goal. And it seemed like a reevaluating of ideas, but at the same time, like, kind of talks about work-life balance as well as family balance and everything. And it seemed like, yeah, that's a practical way to approach a goal, especially if you want to accomplish something like big like that. The second idea that I thought was also really great, which I think is actually said a lot, is taking everything in little steps. And what he means by that is, for example, I'm a runner and I'm trained for a marathon, which is 26 miles. That seems like a lot for me. I'm only at 3 miles right now, and I'm doing fine. Like I ran 3 miles and I was like, I don't feel sore at all today, which is great. But eventually I will get to that point. It seems really big right now, but the whole thing about that is you want to take it steps at a time. So not only is I'm doing the steps to a 10K, which is my next step, 10K half marathon, that 3 added miles for the 6 miles, for 6.2 miles, that is the 10K, is still a long time. And so in order to do that, you do it in little bite-sized pieces. You only say, okay, today I'm at 3 miles. I just need to run 0.3 miles more in order to get to my goal. And that doesn't seem that hard because as long as you're doing 3.3 miles, it doesn't seem that far after you've already done 3 miles. And another example that the author gave, is that doing something that day to accomplish towards your goal will make you feel so much better than just thinking about like, oh, I didn't accomplish anything. For example, he's writing a novel, or he's written novels. So for him, he's like, as long as I only write one page, I'm accomplishing a goal. And splitting up in those bite-sized pieces makes it a little bit more manageable, which I thought was really interesting, because you think about, oh, eventually I'm going to get this novel, which is 200 pages. That's a lot of work ahead of you. And on top of that, you gotta lay out the outline. But if you do one page, then you're already like on the way to accomplish your goal. And so that's why I also thought that was really good. Like, it's a very nice way to accomplish a goal just by looking at it and what's the next step. And by these two examples I thought were the best out of the whole article. And it just seemed really good to apply to many goals I have, which there's about 3 or 4. So I can effectively go towards my goal and like think about practically what I'm doing every day. Thank you.